Hi, welcome to my third video on practical self-defense. If you're just joining me, please click the annotations at the top of the screen to watch the first two. In this video, I'm going to be getting into how to defend yourself against an attacker with a knife. A word of warning before I begin. Knives are very dangerous. Never, ever try to grab the knife or wrestle it away from your attacker. You'll only get cut. Instead, you need to use the attacker's other arm against him. To defend against a stab from a knife in a forward grip, it's very important to step to the side and to hit your attacker's wrist away from you as you are moving to the side and around him. Keep one arm on his upper arm as you're circling around and pounding on him to keep him from being able to turn around and come at you again. To defend against a knife being swung at you, first lean back out of the path of the knife and then move in when it reaches his other shoulder. Again, make sure you keep one hand or arm on his upper arm to keep him from turning and trying again. The next two defenses are against a knife held in a reverse grip. This actually puts him at more of a disadvantage because it limits his range. You can stand a bit closer to him without worrying about the knife coming at you. These defenses work the exact same way as previously when the knife was being held in a different grip. You simply need to change where you're coming up to block the attack from. Instead of parrying to the side, you lift your arm up at an angle to meet his coming down at you and move it down and to the side more in a circle. Pay close attention to how I'm getting in and where I'm placing pressure on his arm. See that no matter how hard he tries to swing his arm around to try and get at me, he can't, simply because of leverage. Most of the time, your attacker is not going to stop after one attack, and he's not just going to stand there and let you keep hitting him. When he sends another attack your way, it's important that you deflect this one as well. You can do it the same way as his first attack, and this time you go around to his other side. Again, make sure you step around him when you're deflecting the punch or other attack. Now, as I said, your attacker isn't just going to stand there when he grabs you or when he throws a punch. Very often, he's going to try and pull you into him. Let him. When you raise your other hand and aim it at his face or his neck, all he's doing is helping you attack him. This method works best when your attacker is grabbing you and pulling you with the same side arm. Pulling you in from an opposite side grab is a little bit trickier, but it follows the same basic principle. You want to go with the direction that he's pulling you in. To get out of his control, bring your hand around and up so that it's facing the sky. You'll want to grab his wrist once you get into the position to do so, except do not bring your thumb into it, because then it becomes a contest of strength, and if he manages to get out of it, you will get hurt. If you want to throw him, you want to twist from your hip to bring the foot that's farther away from him around so that you're back to back. The rest of your body will follow, and he will become off balance. Pay close attention to the way I'm moving my feet here. You want to move from your hips to bring your whole body around because that's where your center of gravity is, that's where you're most stable, and that's where you generate the most power. Take a closer look at the grip that you're going to want to use when he pulls back from a punch or when you bring your arm around to get out of his grab. This type of grip is called clipping, and all you're doing is using leverage to keep him pinned to you without really forcing the issue. That way, if it becomes a battle of strength and you lose, you don't get anything broken and you have a chance to recover. You need to use that kind of grip when your opponent retracts the punch instead of just leaving it out there so you can do whatever you want to him. He's going to pull that back. You want to follow his punch in because all he's doing there is helping you get in to a better position to defend yourself against him. Before I wrap things up, I have some final words of advice that apply to all of the techniques that I have demonstrated in these videos. First, I would like to say that even though during this video I focused on pulling my attacker to the ground from the eyes, that isn't the only option you have. Pain is a great neutralizer, and using your nails to claw at your attacker's face or hitting him in the throat are also great ways to neutralize him. I simply focused on that simple throw because it is effective and gives you plenty of time to get away. It may not work if your attacker is much bigger than you, so in cases like that I recommend breaking his fingers by pulling back on them, simply because they're easier to reach. In a confrontation like this, it often becomes your life or his safety, and your life will always take priority. That being said, staying when your attacker is down and continuing to wail on him is not a great idea because it gives him more time to recover. When your priority is your safety, your priority is getting away safely. That means once you get him down, you start running. Lastly, I'd like to stress the importance of staying calm during any conflict. It is possible to get out of the tensing up makes it more difficult to execute attacks and techniques, and generally leads to trying to muscle your way out. And like I said earlier, it is very important to avoid trying to outmuscle someone when there is no guarantee that you will not lose. This concludes my video series on self-defense strategies and techniques. To go back and watch the first and second videos in this series, click the annotations at the top of the screen. I hope that you found these useful. Stay safe, and thank you for watching.